Yeah, yeah. Coming up on Mental Health Marty, we are back and we got the Dream Team back with you. Come on and stay tuned with us. Call your neighbors and call your friends. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Hey, we're back. It's Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and always in living color in Southern California, where the sun is always shining. Now, we got June gloom, but that doesn't mean the sun is not shining. And it is so good to be back at home and doing these shows. Y'all, I've missed you so much, but life has been lifing and things have been happening. And I just needed a break because so many things was happening, but we are back and we are so excited. We got the Dream Team back with us today and we are excited. Yes, Ronnie, good to see you. Yes, y'all let us know that you're tuned in and it's good to be back. Miss Janice, yes, of course you got your beloved pastor. We are so glad that she is back with us tonight too. But we want to say, listen, it is June and we're so excited about June. But let me do a quick commercial and pause and tell you why we do what we do. Here at the Mental Health Marty Show, yes, we are a psychoeducational show, and this show is intended to share with you some of the mental health concerns and disparities that happen among our BIPOC communities. However, we are not a substitute for you seeing your therapist, for seeing your psychologist, your psychiatrist, your medical doctor, your coach, your life coach, your pastor, your priest, your bestie, or any of those things. However, if you are experiencing any type of psychiatric emergency, we definitely want you to go to your nearest urgent care and or hospital because your mental health matters, and that's very important. So we don't want you to neglect any of those things, but we are here to help to stop the stinking thinking and take the stigma away from mental health and what mental health looks like in our Black and brown communities. Now, how do you engage with us during this amazing show? I am so glad that you asked that question. Now, you engage with us by going to our YouTube platform, the Mental Health Marty on YouTube. When you see that, please, we want you to hit the like button and the subscribe button so that you will always be engaged with us. And when you hear that bing, you know that you're really engaged and that you're will be ready for every episode. Now, if you are on our Facebook Live, listen, we ask that you get back to go to our YouTube channel. Yes, y'all, my mother came upstairs and was like, it's after 7 o'clock. Where y'all at? So, Mom, the Dream Team is back. We are so glad that they are back and we are back. So, yes. And we cannot forget about the Mac in the back. Daryl, I don't know what you did. I don't have any echo right now. Maybe it's when other people come on. The Mac in the back, we was trying to figure out stuff, y'all. We've been out for a month and things went haywire, but we are back. Okay, I'm looking at the camera. I'm trying to read some things too. He's talking in my ear too, y'all. I forgot what it was like, but the Mac in the back is always in control. Yes, yes. Hey, Trey, what's up, man? Much love out there from in the DMV area. Yes, glad to see you. Sister Hill, always glad seeing you. Dr. Story and I always thank you for your continued support of everything we do. Yes, nice to see you as well. So this month, the month of June is definitely, of course, we know Black Music Month and all these other things, but we also want to talk about men's health and men's health awareness month as well, because we know that we as men, especially Black and brown men, we ignore the signs and everything that we're doing as it pertains to our mental health and mental health awareness and physical health. But I'm glad we have this exciting, this dynamic panel, and we are going to just listen. Let's jump right in there. I don't have time to be doing all this crazy monologue, but this is our Black community, our Black culture, and Christ, what we do. I want to bring in, am I doing it in the right order? Tell me the order, Mac in the back. Okay. Dr. Story, we're coming to you. Where you at? Where you at? Are you online, Dr. Story? I got none other than my sister from another mister. And this, she is Dr. Story in the real, and she is the real deal. I was with her men last night, the Ebony's EBC men, and they said one of the things they bragged about their pastor is that she is the real deal. They love that she's brilliant. She is a scholar. She has an earned degree. Touch your neighbor and say earned degree. Yes, she does. And she has done the coursework, the casework, the case study, the dissertation, and everything else. I'm so glad to have her. I miss her like I don't know, I just miss her a whole lot. I'm not that clever, but none other than the Reverend Dr. Margarita Story.
Hey
Dr.
there,
Story.
Marty. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good
I
seeing
am
you
so God
too.
grateful to be, Lord. I'm trying to get myself where the Mac in the back tripping with me. Trying to get myself right.
Mac in the
Trying to
back's
get
messing with
myself.
all of us tonight. Scoot over. He
Listen,
telling me, look in the right camera. I'm like, okay, it's been a minute. Give me a second.
that part. I miss you. I love you. I thank God for your presence in my life. I have even missed the Mac in the back.
I know
I
that's
miss
right.
those low tones. I miss him so much. You guys are like family to me, and I thank God for your
Yes.
presence uh, in my life and in my
Yes.
ministry. Like you are in so many facets of my life, and you make my life so full and so complete. You're one of
Likewise.
those ones that I can talk to about absolutely
Yes.
anything, and then you're one
Yes.
of those ones that inspires me as I see you moving
Oh,
forward with the things that you're doing. I love your family. And so, hey, mom,
yes.
and we'll be seeing your brother
And she
soon.
tells me
But
that this is her favorite show. She don't care about the rest of them. I'm like, is this what we're doing, Mom? Wow. Thank you. Thank
that's
you.
how it happened. And then, I mean, since we've been gone, there's so many things that have gone on. But the
Yes.
men, they texted me and they were just like, he's the truth. And they love
Wow.
you in the ministry. You are absolutely the truth. And so I love and appreciate you. And I'm so glad to be with you, with Bishop, with Rob, with the Mac that's in the back.
Yes. Right, right, right. Hey, this is how we do it, and we can't let
Yeah,
this much time go by anymore. We
absolutely.
have so much fun, and we want you guys to know this is genuine. What you see with us,
Okay.
we don't have anything scripted. It all comes off the top. We want to make sure that this remains free, unscripted, and y'all just getting to see us in real time. But let's bring on our brother, none other, y'all. He's brilliant beyond his age and all these things, and he's the one that I wish I could even think like him. How he thinks, I can't even handle it.
I
Dr.
know.
Story.
I know.
But we're gonna come down and get some barbecue. He was eating graham crackers, as my grandmother would say, graham crackers. He was eating some
Grim
graham
crackers.
crackers earlier, but none other than the bishop himself, the Reverend Dr. Bishop, none other than Sean Stewart. Bishop, how you
Hey,
feeling?
family. I'm good. How is everybody? So good to be back with the fam again. I have missed
Yes.
you all. The Mac in the back, we're praying for him
Uh-huh.
and on him at this time. And I need Rob to come on because I need him to verify who this person is in Houston that we need to verify. And then I just want to know, do you have your pen? Um, you got, God bless your heart for your pen. Minute, come on, come on.
Y'all ain't gonna get me no more with no.
Listen, and you tell mother she all right with us. She knows the best show to pick. We accept
Yeah.
her favoritism.
Yes.
We accept it. We honor God's favoritism.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done. It's good to see
You done.
everybody.
Good to
It
see
Yes.
you, baby.
Yeah, we need to go on and make we didn't make the 4th of July last year, but we need to make the 4th of July because I need some good
We
Texan cooking.
save it for September 30th, and then you can come celebrate my 50th with me. We're doing a
Oh,
Roaring 20 red carpet Gatsby
come
kind of
on.
thing. So yeah,
Yes,
just
sir.
give me a few more weeks, and then you'll start getting invitation about that. No, baby, you
Okay,
don't need
okay,
that
okay.
kind of thing. You need a felt tip so we can draw lines through people's names. No confusion. You need a felt tip. You need a whole felt tip,
Permanent
baby,
marker.
because yes, ma'am.
A
So
per-
because it's not gonna be no dry erase. It's just gonna be a straight line through that. I'm not going to erase you. You just
I
can't come in.
understand. I
Yeah,
Anyway,
draw
understand.
straight line
listen,
through that.
let's bring on my brother who is from the same mother, and none of my
Yeah.
brother who really was the one who inspired me to do all this that he does. He is the creator and the president and founder, executive director, all that stuff of the Sellers Foundation, and we none other than my brother, my little brother, Rob Sellers.
There he
Doing too
is.
much. Doing too much over there. I swear I did not pay him, everybody, for that introduction. I swear I
Well
didn't cut
worth
him
it
a
though. Well
foundational
worth
check. I
Yeah,
swear I
listen, yeah,
didn't.
take
I
it,
swear I
baby. Take
didn't.
it free. Free ain't never done you wrong. Legally free ain't never done you wrong. Ain't done you
Right?
wrong.
Oh man. He giving out here more introductions better than Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying? Good job. Good job. Good job.
Bishop, they want to know, is everybody invited to your party? Bobby, you gonna come out to
it.
Houston with
No,
us?
no,
Hey,
no.
What?
I didn't know the bishop was a 73, baby. I gotta come. I gotta come. You know what I'm saying? I'll be
Come
50 in
on.
November. So hey,
Come
I gotta
on.
come. It's all
Come
good.
on. Yeah,
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 come
he got all
on.
Everybody
these
come.
accolades. Now I'm looking at my life like I ain't did shit. Oh, okay. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry. I forgot.
I missed you, Rob. I have missed you. I
Yes,
have
forgot.
God.
missed
Yes,
you.
God.
I have
Always.
missed you.
Always.
I
Yes,
I
yes.
have
forgot.
And
now
who is
listening.
Kim Burrell?
Listening. Yep,
him and
listen.
Kim
'Cause ain't
Burrell.
that the question, Rita? Ain't that the question? Who is thou?
Who is
Listen,
Kim Burrell?
yo, we do have an
I
audience
would fail at
tonight.
the test again.
Oh,
Sorry. I would fail again. Sorry. I would
yeah.
fail again.
Good to see
You
Gospel
you,
all
singer,
right
Rob.
with
right?
me?
I
You all right
gospel
with me?
singer.
Oh
Yes.
my God,
Inspirational.
y'all know
Everybody going in.
we just love each other, y'all. We just showing some family love right here, and all. That's all we do. That's all we do when we got family in the room. Y'all know how we cut up like at the family reunion. We just
Yes.
cutting up. Ames, what's going? But you know how we do
Man.
it, y'all. That's your mama. Your mom. You got your mom saying, "Bobby, really?"
Yes, mother,
I,
really. And it's okay. It's okay.
I'm
Yes,
just
mother,
saying, I'm
really.
like,
Yeah, yes,
wait a
mother, really.
minute here.
Yes, yes,
Like, he's
yes,
about to be
yes.
50. I'm about to be 50.
Oh,
He got all these accolades. I got to get a grip on my life. Wow. All right. Yes.
Now
Yes.
you doing this.
And-
You doing this, sir.
You doing good because who not going to the gym to coach basketball is me. So we thank
right,
God for
right.
your yeah.
all
You
right.
ain't
I
going to
appreciate that.
Yeah.
yeah,
We,
listen,
And
we
and we
investing in them young people. That's a
yeah,
fact.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
fact.
yeah,
yeah,
we took an L. We took an L, but I was happy with my boys. We lost by 10,
yeah.
but I was happy. This is our first game. We only been together for like less than 2 weeks. Hey,
Okay.
Okay,
it was good. It's good.
okay.
It's
Wait a
good.
minute. Is this
Awesome.
a
I've
new
never been
squad?
this happy in a loss in my life. So hey, I'm feeling real positive. I don't take
Rita,
losing
God
well,
knew who to
but
give
I'm
that to. God knew who to give that to because God know I don't. If the scripture is true, He gave the desires of your heart. Then God knows I don't like sweating. So God
Yes.
knew who to give. Yeah, He did. He did. And Ron, I appreciate you. Yeah, I
I
do. I
We
appreciate.
do.
appreciate
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Well,
Trying to get these guys right.
So since we're talking about that, there's this whole debate about Gen Xers and these others that come way behind us that really don't get outside, don't exercise. They think they get a participation trophy and ain't done nothing. I'm going to talk to the expert himself, none other than my brother Rob. Because this is your second year going into this teaching, and I love it because he's teaching our brown children.
Yes.
Yeah. That live next to there's Auntie. Hey, Auntie, who lives in Orange County, and this is a different breed that we're dealing with these days. How is it, and how do we bridge the gap? And maybe I say it that way. I don't know. With these new kids we have that don't work. Well, some of them do, but most of them don't. But they want all the high end stuff, just like they rich. Everybody got to have the latest Jordans, all that, or we don't put in the work. How is coaching for you with this generation? Let's go there. Let's start there first.
Yes, I mean, in actuality, honestly, they're good kids.
Right.
I think we were a little bit rough around the edges than the ones that are now this new generation, but they're coachable. But the whole thing is I just try to instill them, being prompt, being on time, being organized, believe in yourself, try to build that confidence, and also just try to mentor them as far as, it's bigger than a game. But we're going to teach you guys not only basketball, but also, life aspects. It's being a male
skills.
Too. Just like I tell them, whenever they're late, I said, whenever you guys late, you're going to meet Mr. Pine, meaning the bench. And when you get out in this workforce, you be late, you're going to be like Mr. No Money. You're not going to receive any type of money.
Yeah.
Nobody's waiting on you. You have to take the initiative to be on time. Take the initiative to be prompt. Take the initiative to do other things outside of basketball that you can bring to the table when it's game time. So that's the whole thing we try to implement. And also I got to give a shout out because I want to say we're the only team in Orange County where we have a full black staff. Our freshmen, our JV and varsity are all brothers, and we do have a sister who's an assistant on the varsity. So I haven't seen this in Orange County, so I think that's something that we can work off. And also, like you were saying, our school's like 98% brown, meaning 98% Latino. So also we're breaking down the stereotypes because I honestly say, I tell one of my coaches all the time, we probably wouldn't have to go through a lot of this drama if we was Latinos. However, since we're not, we can inspire them and show them that, hey, all these negative stereotypes that they have us on us as far as a black male, a black female, we're tearing down those walls of stereotypes because a lot of them, I'm sure they haven't been, directed by any black males. We're just being positive, being uplifting role models, and they see it. And we learn from them just like they learn from us.
Tell me your name is Roberto. Hablas español.
Yes, I already have my Negro Dominicano name. My name is Bobito Soledad. I use that all the time. I love the carne asadas, and I do like my senoritas. Yes, I do. I want to be bilingual. I already have my Dominicano name, Bobito Soledad. El Negro Dominicano. Well, I asked him, hey, do you have any tias? Do you have any tias? I tell my kids, you have any
aunties?
Yes, aunties.
I think that's auntie. I'm working on that.
Now, if somebody would have called me and told me this is where our conversation would have been 15 minutes in, I'd have said we was live. But because my brother's on the phone, we're right on target. Yeah, Bobito said, I'm gonna change the name of my phone to that just to be clear.
I can't.
I blame the movie Colors. I blame the movie Colors. I blame the movie Colors.
No, you Dr. can't. Sean, I didn't let you go like that. So,
Bishop, talk to us because at those who know, Bishop is in education, and are you finally on your summer break? Why are you looking around, Dr. Story?
I don't know. I think he's trying to find a break.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find out who you're talking to. I'm a 12-month employee. What break?
Oh, God bless your heart and your ministry.
I did what the song said. I searched all over and he found my I looked high and I looked low.
And look.
Still ain't found no break. No, if I could push us into something that I think we need to talk
Yes.
about. As educators, we are in this work together with our
Mm-hmm.
parents. It's not we don't refer to those to students as these kids. Those are our kids. Um,
Yes.
we got students through graduation Friday of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Friday we had prom. Saturday we had graduation. Then Saturday night I get a phone call. Dr. Stewart so and so is in the hospital. He's in ICU. He's on a ventilator.
Oh wow.
I just gave that baby his diploma 4 hours ago.
Mm.
Come to find out, he took 4 Xanax,
Mm.
which were laced with fentanyl.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
He was only 107 pounds. He was depressed.
Yeah.
No one saw it.
Right.
He was shut down. And because his dad was this super ego, boys don't cry, man up, you crying like a bee, all that kind of stuff. So instead of you taking the time to stop what you were doing and hear what
Yes.
was going on, now you've been forced to stop what you're doing to mourn his death.
My
I want
God.
to point us in the direction of drug addiction is not just because they woke up and decided they wanted to get high.
Mm-hmm.
In the Black
Mm-hmm.
community, depression is real.
Yes.
Suicide is
It's
real.
real.
Neglect, rejection hurts like hell. Even to 50 and 60-year-old people, it hurts like
Yes.
hell. And
Yes.
we supposed to have the cognition to comprehend
Mm-hmm.
such rigorous rejection, but sometimes we struggle with it as an adult. Then if we struggle with it as an adult, then the children are multiplied that stress even further. And then
Yes.
we do not create space for them to talk. And by the time you're ready to talk, they are no longer in a place to speak.
Yes.
And so my thing with the Black community, Hispanic community, Black and brown kids, family, we have to do better. Let me say this, and I am a
Come on,
bishop of
say
a
it
non.
again.
Prayer is not the only tool God gives the church to combat depression.
That's right.
Come
It is
on.
not the
Come
only
on, Bishop.
tool. Prayer, psychotherapy, psychotic medicines, in-house, in treatment, out of treatment therapy. There are other
Right, right,
tools.
right, right,
And
right.
the pastor, sister pastor, you do all things spiritual. Preach, pray,
Mm-hmm.
prophesy. When it's time for the counseling, refer out. You're not
Yes.
trying, you're not skilled, you're not level. You're a great hearer,
Yes.
listener. But to prescribe process for long-term treatment, that's not your lane. It's just not
Yeah.
your lane. And we
That's
miss
so good.
this.
That's
We
so good.
miss this kid we missed this kid not because we didn't see the warnings. We missed it because we didn't stop to hear him say this hurts.
Yes, and you
And
you
so,
you speak right to Bishop about a lot of that. I love what you said about when you're talking about addiction and suicide ideation.
mhm,
Oftentimes, I love Dr. Rita Walker out of the University of Houston. She says it this way that
mhm,
we are in so much trauma till we no longer recognize when we are in crises. That young
mhm,
man was in crises because of
mhm,
the trauma. And when you are in so much pain, you no longer have the cognition or the ability to one think rationally. And when you're in that much pain, there's a direct correlation with mental and emotional and
mhm,
physical pain and the
mhm,
correlation to depression and suicide ideation. I was just speaking to someone today who says, I'm in so much pain, Marty. I had to leave my house because I have guns in there. And for a quick second, I thought about this pain is too much. And when we're in that much pain, we don't think rationally. We just want the pain to end. Not that oftentimes
mhm,
we're trying to end our lives. We want the
mhm.
pain to end. We need an escape route.
And watch this, Marty. This is what's funny. I don't think he took the medicine for a long-term response. He was seeking a short-term temporary relief of the numbness, but it
That part.
created a long-term outcome
Yes.
that has now impacted everybody in that social emotional ecosystem. So now
Yes.
everybody is impacted when everybody had a choice to stop what they were doing, to hear what
Mm-hmm.
was on his heart. Maybe not change it, but just hear it. Because
Mm-hmm.
most boys, most men, we just want to get it out. We don't want you to fix it.
Yes.
You didn't stop to hear him. Now you have to stop to mourn him. And your
Mm-hmm.
apology, even though you're said, will fall on dead ears, not deaf ears, dead ears,
Dead.
because he is
Yes.
no longer here to respond.
My God. My God. That
We
is so
missed it.
tragic. Yeah.
We missed it. I mean, and
Oh,
there is and no amount of sorry
can
and
bring him
as
back.
Terry like to say, heartfelt prayers. I'm irritated. No, I don't have another heartfelt prayer. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have another I'm sorry. I don't have another I'm
Mm-hmm.
praying.
That's
As a
good.
preacher,
That's good.
I don't have that to give you. I don't have the Lord will make a way somehow, and that God chose to move this person over out of the
My
garden,
God.
because I ain't got none of that. Because the truth be told, I am just as devastated that I missed one of my kids, not a student. I
Mm.
missed one of my kids
Mm.
who was screaming at the top of his lungs, metaphorically. And
Yes.
because he
Yes.
knew how to do everything in rhythm, he looked fine, he sounded fine, he moved fine, but he was not fine. And it
Mm.
wasn't under my nose, it was directly in front of my eyes.
My
And
God.
even though he is not my blood child, the pain is still the same because I was with him for 6 years.
Yeah. But you have
So then,
you had a relationship.
mhm.
You
And
had
so
an
my point
encounter.
to the
Mm-hmm.
minority marginalized people, we cannot play with mental health. There is no such thing as, oh, I think he got a small bit of depression. First off, what in the hell is a small bit of depression? What is that?
Mm.
You got a
Mm.
teaspoon of depression, you got a cup full of failures. Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
do not have the luxury. Texas is 50 in the states when it comes to funding mental health services. But then every time you
Wow.
look at, we lead the nation in shootings, and then we say that those mass shootings are for
Come on.
because of mental health, but then you don't put no money into mental health.
Behind it. Yes. But
So then you
Bishop, we
didn't
don't
play with
understand
that.
mental health. I still don't believe we understand all
Mhm.
the parameters and the definition of mental health. And I think in our spiritual realms, we think that counselors are trying to take over and take the role of the pastor. I don't want to be the pastor. You
There are
know,
days I don't want to be a
and
pastor. Can we talk about that?
right, right,
Okay.
right. But Dr.
Sorry,
Story,
sorry,
you
that
deal
was
with a
me.
listen. Dr. Story, you understand, and you've dealt with parishioners and church members who have depression, and all that. But how do we get this message, and how do we bring this to the forefront, especially when we're talking about our young children, our children, whether they're 10 or 19? Or talk to
Especially
us, Dr.
our
Story.
boys. My focus is we
Yeah,
Yes,
gotta address
yes.
yeah.
the boys. Yeah, like the girls are clear about their emotions. They start crying, then you know a couple of things. And if the rings start coming off, the wig come off, you finna be stoned down. There's not no windmill. If fist balled up, nails come off, you finna be beat. Like there is no confusion about that. Like there
Right,
is
you're right.
that's clear as day. But boys have been told that having feelings makes you weak. Crying makes you
Hmm.
like a girl. Shut up
Yeah.
crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry about. So then by the time they become teenagers going through puberty, they have suppressed so much that they don't even know how to articulate it anymore.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
So
so
true.
I just would like to go back to something that you did say, Bishop, in reference to, uh, many times clergy are managing or dealing with areas or spheres of
Hmm.
that they've not really been trained in. But I
Hmm.
also believe that there's something to connect to that as well, and it's not that they've just not. always been trained to deal with it. Many have not even managed their own mental health.
Boom.
Now,
That's
now
good.
one of the
That's
Listen,
things
good.
I wanted to, because when you don't deal with your own,
That's
seed
good.
reproduces after itself. So then I'm going to teach you how to avoid. I'm going to teach you how
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hide and all of the rest of it. So I did want to add that there, but then I also wanted to bring to the forefront that mental health is not a diagnosis. That
Right.
it's just like physical health. That's not a
Right.
diagnosis.
Right. Right.
If
That's
we have
good.
good mental health, it means you good. And so we also
Mm-hmm.
have stigmatized and are getting to the place where we are defining mental health as a diagnosis. Everything ain't a diagnosis, and you can
Mm-mm.
still be dealing with mental health issues. Then the other thing is that with our mental health, we have issues that won't lead to a diagnosis, but is a dilemma that you are
Yes.
dealing with a dilemma, and if
You
you don't
talking good.
manage that dilemma well, you are going to end up with patterns and habits that could lead to a diagnosis. And so that's one of the things, because everybody trying to get depressed, everybody trying to be anxious, everybody trying to be paranoid, schizophrenic, and all the rest of it, ADHD. Everybody wants something that come with community-based services, but there are some dilemmas that happen in our life
Yes.
that knock us
Yes.
off our feet at times. And if we don't manage those things in a healthy way, then the things that we're dealing with in our mental and physical things will begin to manifest in strokes and heart diseases and things
That
like that. And
part. That part.
that's the stuff that we're dealing with over and over again. And so one of the things I wanted to slide that in, because I'm tired of I got a church that probably 98% got a diagnosis. Like everybody got one but me. And I just need to know who the doctor is so I can get my social security check. Everybody is diagnosed as something. And
I need to get.
and we've taken that way too far. We really have. We've taken it too far. What? 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 What?
Rob, it
Got
has
his
always
finger up.
been good
What?
to see you. But as for
Hey,
me and my
hey,
house, I'm going on
always,
vacation.
always you
Listen,
three.
listen,
Lovely, lovely,
that Rita will shut you
lovely.
down every time when she get up there,
No,
Reverend.
He said
no.
99%.
Not
99.
listen, and she the only one without one. Lord Jesus, help us here.
But Dr. Story, you make a profound statement when you talked about the dilemma. And just
Yes.
because you have a dilemma does not necessarily mean you have a diagnosis.
Diagnosed.
No.
Listen, life is what was it? Life is full of swift transitions. That life is full of dilemmas. Life is
Yes.
full
Mhm.
of change, and
Yes.
change does not necessarily mean I'm depressed. Listen, you mess with my money, I'm gonna get depressed. Now I
Yes.
pull it back. You know what I'm talking about,
It's
Bob?
emotional. It's emotional.
It is
It's
emotional,
Yeah.
and
emotional.
every
Yeah.
emotion does not lead to a diagnosis. Since we're talking about this, to have a real depressive diagnosis, you have had to have that depressive symptomologies for a minimum of 6 months.
Mhm.
Because if it's less than that, what we're just dealing with is something that we just call adjustment disorder. And everybody can have an adjustment disorder. Listen, you adjust from going from married to single. You adjust from going single to married. That's an adjustment.
You
You
adjust from going a
adjust.
size 14 to a size 16 and you didn't know that the hint to put the dress on. That's an adjustment. That's an
Yeah,
adjustment.
Right,
I'm still adjusting. I'm
right.
still adjusting from COVID. I had a nice little stable. They gone. I'm still trying to find out if I can just get one. So I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but the other
I
thing
still
though,
ain't recovered from COVID. I like, man, my stable was good. Here come this sickness. I'm still struggling.
but the
I just need one.
I mean, stop. Stop. But the other thing is,
I
the
feel you
other
on that.
thing
That
is,
hit me in the heart right there.
And you still adjusting. You
And
might
he's still
got you might got a
adjusting.
still
serious.
adjusting.
You might have a.
I'm still adjusting. It's going on
You might
2024. I'm still
move
out here
on to
adjusting.
from dilemma to diagnosis. We might just go ahead
Yeah.
and
I'm
go ahead and
shooting my shot.
diagnose
That's
you.
what I'm doing. I'm
Right.
starting shooting.
But,
I'm going to
but
shoot.
Listen,
Not bullets. Not bullets. Not bullets.
the
Well, go
other
ahead,
part
Dr. Story. Go start, Dr. Story. Go ahead.
the part I wanted to bring up though was that the way God created our bodies as well is that our bodies are created to trigger
Mm,
anxiety because
mm-hmm.
it is supposed to trigger thought processes,
That
reactions, and
part.
responses to keep us safe. But we've gotten to a place where when you do feel anxious, it's debilitating when it's supposed to be
Yes.
developmental. It's supposed to make you
Ooh.
alert and paying attention. It's not supposed to be debilitating, but we've gotten to a place where we've even given young people the language and we're
mm-hmm.
debilitating them and saying, "Oh, if you're anxious, sugar, you can get some medication." But if everybody's lethargic, you're in trouble, baby.
Yes.
You can't
Yes.
move. You can't
Yes.
plan. You can't recover from
Yes.
some things unless your body produces that adrenaline and all of that. That's what it's supposed to be. It's
But
supposed to
you're right.
make you pay attention to you.
But we have gotten out of knowing we don't know
Yeah.
ourselves. And those of you who are
Right.
online, please tell us if you agree with us or not. Please tell us if that you like this, if we're on track with you're feeling this or not. But you're right. Adrenaline is there's a purpose for adrenaline. There's a
Yes.
purpose for anxiety, and it's
Yes.
not to listen. If you see a kid in the middle of the street and a car is coming, you are supposed to get anxious, and the natural response is to
Hmm.
yell and to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
So in that response,
That
the
helps.
anxiety drove you to
Yes.
have a developmental and a deliverable that was safe and not
Absolutely.
debilitating or deadly.
Right. Right. And so
Yes.
we gotta teach people how to use it, and especially our young men. But back to what Sean was making the suggestion with expressing feelings, because that's different from a diagnosis. That's a
Yes.
dialogue. I don't
Yes.
like hot dogs. That's the dialogue. That doesn't mean I gotta pass out on the ground. I want to, but it's a dialogue. We've gotta but we also have to give our young people language because we will allow them to
Yes.
what's up, you know what I mean? And so when you don't provide
You know what
them
I'm
with
saying? You
language,
know what I'm
they're
saying?
not
You know
they're
what I'm
not
saying?
able to express themselves. They're not able to say, I
Yes.
feel alone even in the midst of my family. I feel like I'm being left out or what. They're not able to communicate because we've lessened the words that they're even learning to communicate
Yes.
with us. And then as long as words are wrong and they're know what I mean, and saying sentences incorrect in order to act like they cool, boo, you'll never be able to tell me if you need
Mm-hmm.
help because you don't even know how to
Mm-hmm.
structure a sentence.
Right. And then we expect these same men to have wonderful relationships with their mates later. And
Hmm.
so then part of the problem in divorce is the lack of effective communication and
Absolutely.
meaningful communication. So so
Mm-hmm.
so every time I call it that kind of that Coca-Cola syndrome, shut up. Don't do this. So now you're shaking the system up so much till you are silently imploding, and then at the slightest crack you explode. The
Hmm.
imploding has already begun. He was
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
imploding, Bishop, and no one knew it. He was
Right.
Mm-hmm.
imploding because he couldn't communicate those things, and it begins to eat away at you from the inside out. So the
Out.
the actual exploding was the final result of him
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
imploding and all of
Mm-hmm.
that
Hmm.
not being
That's
able to
good.
get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we got to get
Hmm.
it
Yes,
out
sir.
and give language. I was I,
Yes.
I was sitting my last client tonight. I was sitting with him. Emotional intelligence. Yeah, we're not taught enough about emotional intelligence. A
Hmm.
40-year-old black man today, and I said, well, what do you want and how are you feeling? And he sat there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
said, do I need to repeat the question? And I saw his eyes begin to well up. And he goes, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No one has ever
Mm-hmm.
asked me what I want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I
We're
said,
not
but you,
aware. That's powerful.
yes,
That's powerful.
yes.
Powerful. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, my dad, when my mom died, my mom and dad were married almost. If mother would have lived one day, they'd have made 54 years of marriage. And
Wow. Wow.
dad, mom was the brains of the operation. Daddy was the muscles, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And mother had a massive heart attack at Lamar University doing senior citizens workout. She was laughing at
Mm.
my dad, walking away, and collapsed on the ground, had a massive heart attack. And when she hit the ground, the autopsy determined that she was already deceased when she hit the ground. But that didn't bother me. What triggered for me is when we got home, Daddy looked at the clock and he went and got mother's nightgown, house coat, laid it down beside the bed, got a Daniel Green house shoe, set it down, took the towel down, went in the restroom, and started to run the bath water. It
Mm.
didn't hit him
Mm-hmm.
that he was grieving until he
Mm-hmm.
realized she wasn't coming to get in the tub.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I'm pointing to is that when things were going on in the home, mama would come in and say, Ben, Sean did good at school. You need to be happy for him. He was happy.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, Sean got
Yeah.
cussed at school, and the teacher sent a note home. You need to go talk to him. He would bring me in the room and talk to me.
Right,
She
right.
told him how to feel.
Mm-hmm.
When she died, he struggled, not just
Sure.
articulating how he felt, but he struggled within himself to say how he was grieving because he didn't know how to do it because she was not there to tell him
Mm.
how
My
to
God.
do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he lived 18 years to the day she died. And it wasn't until the last 5 years that he was able to tell you how he felt about things, what he thought
Mm.
about things. Now, Daddy was 76 by that time. He was just able at 76 to say, hey, I don't think I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want to do that. Why? Because I don't feel like 70 something years of age. And so
But
if
Bishop,
that's who we've been, then we are definitely
yeah.
struggling now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But how much has this been culturally passed down to us? Because Bishop, we got to look at for your daddy and our grandparents and all of that, especially y'all
Mhm.
being in the South, the Jim Crow type of things that they were
Mhm.
forced to suppress those things,
Mhm.
and we cannot also escape systemically the
Mm-hmm.
systems that were set up against,
It's
especially the
us. Yeah.
black man, the black
Mhm.
father, and all those things that they were told and devalued. And I think in all of this, we have to pour back value back into our black men and pour in worth and pour back into those things. And even if I can share this, even one of the topics that came up last night, Dr. Story, was the men wanted to know, how do we even love each other in a way
Mm.
that's because we as black men have not been taught, since this is Men's Health Awareness Month, we as black men have not been taught or even groomed on how to love and appreciate and to acknowledge and to support one another unless we're
Mhm.
on the basketball field or the football field, basketball court and the football field or anything like that. But how do we in everyday life check up and say, bro, you good? How
Mhm.
you feeling?
And
How you
honestly,
living?
mean it.
And mean it.
And mean
Yes.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
good. Yeah. Because we have not been given permission to express ourselves, but yet
Or
held
you
to a
haven't,
standard.
or you haven't given someone permission to call you out when you
Mm.
give the standard operation procedure answer. How you doing? I'm good. You a lie. You're not good. You know you're not good. Ray Charles can see you not good. Come on in here. Let's talk
Uh-oh.
about that. Like
Uh-oh.
you gotta have somebody in your life that when your stuff is raggedy, that person has a right to call you on the carpet. Because if we're really going to stick to the description, am I my brother's keeper? Then if you truly are your brother's keeper, then and you ought to love your friends as though you love yourself. Then if you really love yourself, you're not going to let yourself suffer. So if you're not going to let yourself,
hit it on the head right there. Hit it on the head.
We don't
right
love
there.
ourselves. Yes,
Exactly.
yes. Can we got like 10 more minutes. Oh my, I can't believe this time has gone by so fast already. Can we talk about the 11-year-old young man who called the police in Mississippi, Adrian Murray, and he called the police for help and end up getting shot himself
for doing what they said
world is going on. And did you see, if you saw that interview, he said he wanted at one time to be a police officer. Now he doesn't. How do we reconcile anything like that? Bobby, because you deal with young people.
That. Yeah, you can't reconcile that. We're targets. That whole thing, that wasn't even a policeman. Policemen are not supposed to mistreat anybody. That was an alleged race soldier. Let's be honest. Come on. A 10-year-old, 11-year-old, it's a child. He shot a child. He was in fear of a black child. That dude was not no police officer.
Let's go here. It was another black police officer.
That's
Same thing. He's with the blue. He's with the blue. His mind has been indoctrinated. His mind has been indoctrinated, just like his fellow European policeman. He's with the blue. Doesn't matter if you white, black, Hispanic, Latino. Doesn't matter.
How could he perceive that 11-year-old was such a threat to him? Whose hands were up, followed your directives to a T, and you couldn't subdue him with a taser? A bullet was your only answer? Like, I want
he didn't need to be subdued. He didn't need to be subdued.
He did not, because he was in his home following your directives, and you still shot. Like, it doesn't make sense. And you can't just tell me. I'm with you, Rob. It's not just that this was an officer in blue. It's not just that he was a black man. Him being black does not excuse the fact that he still shot somebody that was not a danger to him.
Right.
That was not even a life danger to him. Was not. Was not. And I would love to. And I mean, that black officer don't get a pass because he's black. Let's be very clear.
Yes,
we as a people have been fighting wars in lieu of a racist for racist, and then we still come back and practice racist practices on our own people. So just because he's black does not mean he gets a pass. If anything, because he's black, he gets more scrutiny because he knew better.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he said he could have grabbed him and given him. He could have grabbed him and given him a whooping. But he didn't even deserve a whooping.
You can call for backup.
Then we got to call CPS.
Call for backup. If you're that scared, call for backup. There's so many different ways.
Did y'all see the little boy? He's 4 feet tall, weighing 150 pounds. He wasn't no threat to nobody.
Not even to him.
The only threat. That baby, he was the one that called. When police are attempting to come in to see if there is a domestic violence issue, the first thing they are not coming in with a gun. There was no one that told them that someone had broken into the home. There was no a domestic violence. You de-escalate that environment first. There was no weapon. There was no weapon that even the man whooping his mama behind didn't have a weapon. So you I don't know why you're running in with a gun, but police officers, like back to Rob's point, police officers know that's one of the primary things that you do. It is when that's what you separate everybody. Everybody move out the way. And you usually don't start with the children because they're not the problem. He wasn't crying. He wasn't screaming. He was reacting and responding. And so we've got to get to the place where even those officers or people in blue or whatever stop using as excuses the fact that they have to serve those that are black and brown. Because just because you have to serve me doesn't mean you have to serve me improperly and incorrectly. If
Mm-hmm.
you
That
know how to
part.
get into a white home and no one gets
Would have never
shot
happened.
it'll never happen because you guys are responding, and you know you're responding to either a black or a brown home. Your whole thought process is different, and I believe there needs to be some sensitivity training that's got to
Yes.
come about, because we desensitize everything as it relates to black men.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
You
You're
said
the
it. You said it.
aggressors, you're the animals, you're the monsters of our community.
Yep.
And we're so desensitized to you guys' humanity that it almost gives everybody entree to kill you guys.
Did you
Mm-hmm.
see how Marjorie Taylor
It's
Greene
open
turned that
sport.
whole conversation around with that other black congressman out of was it Oklahoma or somewhere? And he was laughing, talking, and all of that, and she was joking with him. Then the next day, I was scared. I was this.
Yeah.
That's the dog whistle.
That was
Yeah.
she blew a ship's
That's the dog
horn.
whistle.
Huh.
You
Huh.
The
Yeah.
dog
understand?
whistle.
And
Huh.
Yes.
then you didn't just blow a whistle. You put a moving target on that man
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
his family
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. But we
because
never
you
So that's the
now
whole
understand.
want
And
thing we
to
was
do it.
talking about on the last
Yeah.
segment.
yes.
People, pay attention to that
Yes.
senator.
Yeah.
Check
Okay.
on that
Okay.
senator.
We that part. Please do. Please do. Last point. We gotta go. We gotta go. I don't even know what's going on with Jamie Foxx, but that's not my point I'm making. Somebody tell me what's going
Vote
on
for
with Jamie
Cornel
Foxx.
West.
Y'all pray for. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Okay. You
praying.
went
I'm
where I'm
praying
going
for.
with.
I'm
You
Vote for
went.
praying for
Cornel
Jamie
West.
Foxx. I'm praying for Jamie Foxx. I don't know what's going on with him either. I don't
He had
Nothing
a
know.
going
stroke.
on.
He had a stroke.
I think he have.
He-
I think so too. However, I don't know what's going, and I can't get anybody to leak anything to me because yeah, I'm trying to
I
get
heard a
somebody.
theory. If I wonder if you
Aneurysm.
heard the same theory I heard, but we'll talk about that offline.
Yes.
We'll talk about that one offline because I don't need no one coming after me. But anyway, 2024 presidential election. Someone tell me, well, y'all, somebody go tell your Uncle Tim Scott to go sit down.
Tim Scott gonna run
I
because
don't have
somebody
any
need a
uncles.
tax write off. Tim Scott he got just as much of a chance as Pedro do, and we voting for Pedro as well. So
He's angling for that VP. He's trying to angle for the
he ain't
VP.
getting the VP. Tim,
He's-
who are you
That's what he's
talking about?
trying
Go
to
get
angle
VP.
for. That's what he's trying to angle for. He know he's not going to win the
Who,
Y'all know I'm
unless
talking
he
about
gonna go,
Pedro the dog,
He
right?
knows that.
he
Pedro the
he
dog.
must be going to be Chris Christie's VP.
He ain't gonna be Chris
Somebody.
Christie. Ain't gonna make. Oh my God, Chris Christie is not
He
gonna
gonna
make
run.
it.
I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say something, but I forgot I'm on here with the pastors. I'm gonna say Tim Scott ain't nothing but
Well,
a
Listen,
prostitute on Harbor.
well,
Okay.
Listen,
Tim
so
Scott ain't
Janice,
nothing
I'm
but a
listen,
coming with
Janice
you
said,
too, baby. Listen, I'm going with you, baby.
we all about to, yes, you know, and the
Woo!
NAACP they
Tim Scott.
called for a boycott of Florida, and it said it ain't safe for black and brown folks.
I ain't going.
And
Me
I ain't
either.
going.
yeah, but
I ain't going down there.
and
Listen,
every convention is in Florida this year. The Black Mental Health Symposium in Florida.
I
I
ain't
said,
going.
y'all
The
better
Kojic
rearrange this.
the Church of God in Christ International Women's Convention was just in Florida.
I ain't going.
Why?
I
Open
ain't going
carry.
down there. I ain't
Open
going
They
down
carry
got
there.
three
just
year
passed.
contract.
Open carry.
Open carry
Yeah.
just passed.
Okay, listen. Oh my God, this. I'm with y'all. We out of
Cornell
time.
West for
we have so
president.
much fun.
Cornell West for president.
Cornell West.
Baby, Cornell
Oh my
West.
God.
Hey, listen, they put his name
Well,
on the
he
paper.
launched it. Yeah. Cornell West is running under the independent party.
Yeah, okay.
We
Now
need to go and put
he's only allowed in 3 states. He's only on 3 states on the ballot, but still, this is when black folks can vote for independent block. We've been asking for something new. Here
we
it is.
need to
Get
put
behind the brother.
Farrakhan on
That's all
there.
I'm saying.
The
Look,
Honorable
Farrakhan
Minister
have a
Louis
better chance
Farrakhan
than Cornell. What? Come on, y'all.
or Scott.
Let's at least make it where it's gonna be worth it. If we're gonna put their name on there, let's just at least have somebody formidable
Cornell.
on there.
I'm
Cornell.
voting for Michelle Obama and Oprah Winfrey. And
And they can be in either positions, and I would support that.
wait a minute, you come on! Don't you talk about Michelle? Don't you talk about Michelle? Don't you
Don't
say
you talk about neither
nothing
I'm
one
about
of
sorry.
them
Michelle?
and act
Hey,
like you
just
don't know
because
who
you're a
they
Don't
are.
first
you
lady
talk
don't
about
mean you
Act
can
like
Michelle?
you
run
don't
for
know
the
who they are.
presidency. Just because
Don't
you
you?
was the
Don't
first
you?
lady don't mean you can run for
The
the
man in the back
Listen,
presidency.
turnoff, the
she,
man in the back
listen.
turnoff sellers. Yeah, turnoff sellers.
Listen at me.
Because
Cornell,
Both of
because
them
Cornell
women
West,
got more brains
Cornell,
in their pinky toe. Both of them women
listen,
got
Cornell
more
West for
brains in their
presidency.
pinky toe than that
Cornell
guy
West for
that with that
presidency.
orange
Michelle
hair
Obama was
who ran
smarter
and
than
won. Get out of
Obama
here.
in law
Get out of
school.
here. She
She
was
a
a Rhodes
lawyer.
Scholar as well. Get out of here.
Yes. Don't you play with? Don't nobody talk about Michelle Obama now.
Let me
Oprah,
tell you
no.
Honestly,
something.
Oprah,
they
If
agree
don't
money
write in.
was
Don't write in Cornell West. Don't write in
okay.
no Michelle
Okay,
Obama
listen.
or Oprah Winfrey.
You
Write
know
in
honestly
what,
pay
Cornell
Rob?
West.
great
Rob,
money.
you trying to burn us up. You trying to burn us.
Burn us up.
Right.
Rob,
Listen.
We,
This is the
we
time
ain't gonna have
where
no
black
more
folks can.
Oklahoma Tulsa
This,
massacres.
this
right.
is the time when black folks can vote as an
Good night.
independent
Yeah.
block. This is perfect
We
Yeah,
timing
gotta
for
but
that.
go.
Cornell
We
Perfect
West
gotta
would
timing.
go.
go off.
We gotta
Okay.
go.
Oh,
We
We
gotta
do
here we
go.
have to
go.
go.
Listen, y'all.
But
There we go.
listen, wait,
Mental
wait, wait, wait,
slavery
wait,
again.
wait,
Y'all
wait, wait,
mental.
wait,
We
wait.
got chains on the
Listen,
mind
if
still.
we gonna do that,
Chains
No,
on
we
the
might as
mind
nobody
well.
has
still.
chains on their
Marty,
mind. Nobody has chains on their
Cornell
Chains
West
mind.
on our
and
mind then. Chains on our
Cornell
mind. We gonna
West
vote for.
and the
Oh
Honorable
man,
Minister Louis Farrakhan would be a great ticket.
Oh my God.
I would vote for him. Yes, I would. Yes,
I
I
would
would.
vote for him
Yes, I
too.
would.
I
I
would vote for
would.
him.
I would.
I would vote for
But
him.
he's not running. He's not
Listen,
running.
Ain't
he's a
nobody
classical
running.
violinist. That brother can play some violin. Don't y'all play
Uh, turn this show
with
off.
Farrakhan.
Yeah,
But
it's
anyway,
time.
listen, we gotta
How do
go.
we
We
reach you,
had.
Marty?
I miss y'all. I
He was
miss
a
y'all.
calypso
I want to
singer
just share
too.
with you.
He was a calypso singer. He was a calypso
Oh
singer.
Yes,
God. Okay, he
The man
was.
in the back
I
turnoff
just want to
sellers too.
Just turn all of us
Give
off.
me a
Just turn
solo.
us all
Give
off.
me a
That's right.
solo. I want listen. Thank you guys. I want to encourage you. If you have not supported and bought our book, Chris has said this is my first children's book, y'all. It is on Amazon, and we just want you to support this. This is talking about divorce and having that conversation with our children. So I'm so proud of my first book here, and it's just lovely. I'm so excited about it. That's in here, and my next book, children's book, is slated to come out in November, right before the holidays. But we want to definitely support. We are so glad, and so thank you so much for joining us this week on as we come back to Mental Health Marty with our illustrious panel, none other than Bishop Sean Stewart, the Reverend Dr. Margarita Story, and my brother from the same mother, Rob Sellers. Join us next week as we do a special salute to fathers in honor of Father's Day coming up. And this is talking about real dads, real stories. So listen, we love you. Make sure you like and share. Send this out and tell others to watch it. And we will see you next week. And check out our resources with that. Daryl, I'm going straight to the end because we are over time. And I appreciate you so much, Daryl, the Mac in the back. And I didn't tell him that. But listen, we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence, like this young man that Bishop has shared with us on tonight. Listen, Black men, you matter. Ask your Black men, ask your husbands, ask your children, ask your sons, your uncles, your nephews, ask them, strong man, how are you doing? Then simply listen. Why? Because we want you to speak up, speak out, and live so that you can enjoy your life. We love you. We'll see you next week. God bless.